Hey friends, happy weekend. Welcome back to my channel. Missed you guys. Did you miss me? I hope so. All right, and if you didn't, just say you did to make me feel good. Okay, but today we are talking hair as usual. You know, hair is like one of my favorite subjects. I love skincare too. We're gonna get into that more this year, but I'm still in my hair bag, all right? So I have been natural now, I want to say, for about 16 years, and I feel like I have learned so much along the way. So I just want to share a few gems, you know, things I wish I would have known at the start of my natural hair care journey, or either things that I've learned along my journey, just helpful things. So I'm not gonna do a long intro, we're just gonna get right into it. Okay, number one, if you are thinking about going natural, if you're newly natural, you're in the process of transitioning to natural hair, I need you to release every single expectation of what you think your hair should like, what you think your hair should look like, what you want your hair to look like. Release every expectation, every preconceived notion, all of that, okay? There is so much biased messaging around beauty. We already know that. And hair is no exception. So I feel like hair is under the umbrella of beauty, and natural hair is another subcategory of that. And I feel like natural hair specifically has so many messages that are overt, covert, a lot of very empowering messaging, but also a lot of destructive and harmful messaging. So we're just gonna let go of all of the harmful messaging, and we are just going to embark on this journey with no expectations. The only goal is that you have healthy hair, that you take care of your hair, okay? The goal is not to make your hair look like Tracy Ellis Ross's. The goal is not to make your hair look like Angela Davis's. The goal is just to create a safe environment and safe practices and routines for your hair to thrive the best of its ability and potential for its hair type, its texture, all of that good stuff, okay? So release all expectations. We're not doing that. You're gonna start off on a good foot and just embrace the unknown of what your natural hair is going to be. Do not, I repeat, do not buy every single product that comes across your feed, that somebody tells you about. Do not start off just buying every product. I think sometimes we can be product happy, and I am number one because, you know, I love beauty and I love products across the board, okay? Skincare, makeup, hair care, all the things. And sometimes we can get a little bit crazy with it. Do not go buying a bunch of stuff. One thing I will say, the more products that you're testing at one time, the harder it is to really nail down what actually works for you. There's no way for you to be using 10 things on your hair at one time and you can really know what your hair likes and what your hair doesn't like. So I would say start with the basics and then slowly integrate other products as you need them. Just because something is trending doesn't mean you need to get it. Just because the person who's your hair goals is using it doesn't mean that you need to get it. So the basics are a clarifying shampoo, a hydrating shampoo, deep conditioner, leave-in conditioner. To me, those are the basics for natural hair. And then as for stylers, I would say some type of cream or butter if you want to do twists, and then a curl definer. And even with the stylers, it's gonna vary, because if you have very fine hair, a butter might not make sense for you. So you really have to be careful and know your hair and be mindful of how your hair reacts to different products. Just do not be a product junkie. Take your time and really curate a regimen that works for your hair. So number 3, read labels, read instructions. Don't just buy products because they're trending. For instance, there might be a repair product and it's really trending. You know, it's like a lot of people are using it. It's viral on TikTok. But let's say your hair is pretty healthy. A repair product is going to have ingredients that your hair might not need. So now you're like giving your hair too much of a good thing. It might be too much protein. It might be too much of a certain vitamin. I don't know. But then it can have adverse effects. So now your hair, which was pretty healthy, is now breaking, or it's dry, or you know, you're noticing like big globs coming out in the shower on wash day. So be mindful, educate yourself. This is a very fun journey, but you also have to educate yourself along the way. So again, read labels, read products. If you do not need a repair product, don't use repair products. If you don't need color products because you have practically never colored your hair, don't use them unless it says safe for non-colored hair. Like, just be very mindful of what you're putting on your hair and read. Do not trust people on the internet, bloggers, vloggers, me, people on TikTok. Do not trust them to do the legwork for your hair because they don't have your hair. They don't know what your hair needs. So you learn what your hair needs and read labels, because I have seen it happen and it's not pretty. Keep up with your wash days, okay? I personally like to do my wash days once every 1 to 2 weeks. Everyone's hair is different, but you are going to need clean, conditioned hair. That is the baseline. And the longer that you wait to do your wash day, in my experience at least, the harder it is. So, and the longer that it takes. So when I've gone, like, child, I have gone before like a whole month without washing my hair. The wash day, when I finally get around to it, takes so much longer because I have so much buildup that I now have to get off my scalp and off my hair. I have so much shedding because now my hair is matted. It's not been detangled. So keep up with your wash days. And again, there's life events happen. You might have a lot going on with school or work or kids, family, whatever it is. And you know, the weeks pass you by. But as much as you can, try to stay on top of your wash days. It just makes everything easier, and also it's going to help with the health of your hair. It's going to help with length retention. It's going to just help with so many things. So every 1 to 2 weeks, I think, is probably like the average for most natural people, but you know your hair and what it needs, but just stay on top of your wash days. As your hair grows, you might find that shampooing and conditioning your hair in sections is so much easier for you to manage. So I used to, for a very long time, just get under the shower with all this hair. My hair is long and it's very thick. I would just get under the shower and, you know, try to do it all at one time. When I tell you, my niece really changed my life when she was like, why don't you wash your hair in sections, like section it off? And I was like, duh, why didn't I think of this? So what I do is I part my hair down the middle long ways, and then I part it down the middle horizontal, so vertical and horizontal. So I have 4 quadrants, and I secure each one with either a clip or a loose hair tie, a scrunchie, and I literally shampoo one quadrant at a time. So shampoo, rinse, shampoo, rinse, shampoo, rinse, shampoo, rinse, and then I go through and I put the conditioner on each section and let it sit and shower typically, and then I rinse it all out. But washing my hair and conditioning my hair in sections is a total game changer. It has significantly reduced the time that it takes me on wash day. It also makes sure, it also helps me to get all the spots, because when I would just try to do it all at once, then I would miss spots. So then I'm getting out the shower and I'm like, oh my gosh, this section is still really dirty, or oh my gosh, there's a whole lot of shampoo over here that I didn't get out. So washing your hair in sections as your hair grows, you know, when you're, let's say you big chop, you don't need to wash your hair in a section. You have a TWA, a teeny weeny afro, you're fine. That's like, I did that before too, and it is a different kind of freedom that I think everyone should experience. But if you are someone who wants your hair to grow out and you let it grow out, then I would definitely recommend shampooing and conditioning it in sections. And if, I don't know how your shower situation is set up, you know, those shower mirrors, whether it's a magnet or like a suction cup, that can also be very helpful. I actually don't have one. I'm pretty good about like feeling my way through, although sometimes I still miss spots, but that could also be helpful. Like, that's just a bonus. But definitely as your hair grows, it gets longer and thicker, tackle a section at a time just to make sure that you're getting everything. All right, this is one of my big ones. Just because it's harder to see the split ends through all your curls does not mean that the split ends are not there. So make sure that you are still getting your quarterly trims. I like to blow my hair out and trim it just because I really like to get all those split ends out. And I want the stylist to be able to really see. But some people are really great about doing curly cuts. That's totally up to you, whatever works for you. But keep up with your trims. In my experience, when I have not kept up with my trims, when I'm in the shower, like on wash day, I shed so much. It's literally a pain. Like, it's hair everywhere because it's just dead hair. It's weaker. It's coming out. It's probably like, girl, free me, okay? My time has come. It's time for me to go to heaven, and you just trying to hang on. And it creates total chaos in the shower. So keep up with your trims. It's going to make cleanup after wash day a lot quicker. It's going to make your hair healthier. It just makes it look more alive and vibrant and bouncy. Your curls will be more defined. It is very hard for your curl products to work when you have scraggly ends. Also, it does wonders for your shape. It does wonders for your shape, like your hair shape. When you start getting those scraggly ends, you'll have pieces that are just out of place, that look damaged, that it just doesn't go with the overall look, okay? It's not allowing your crown to live in its maximum glory. So keep up with your trims. I do mine quarterly, so like every 3 to 4 months. Can't stress that enough. So celebrity hair care is great. Big brands, legacy brands, their hair care is great. There's a lot of great brands out there. Not all of it now, because it's some questionable. But also, do not forget to explore small brands, indie brands. What I have found is that oftentimes these small indie brands a lot of times use cleaner ingredients, healthier ingredients for your hair, because they're not trying to cut corners in the same way. They are not trying to stock shelves at a big box chain store, okay? They are selling from their online boutique. They're just not making products in the same big batches and distributing them literally all over the world in the same way. So they don't have to use the same types of preservatives and alcohols and all of that stuff. So I am a fan of small brands for that reason. And I think that it's just important to make sure that we're putting money in the people's pockets who actually need it. We know that, like, celebrities don't necessarily need our coins, and I say that as someone who is always trying celebrity hair care, because I'm gonna try it, but I also am going to make sure that I'm supporting small brands too. So there's nothing wrong with supporting celebrity hair care brands, with getting legacy hair care brands, but also make sure that you are also buying smaller indie brands as well. Okay, so there is nothing wrong with having hair muses. We all have them. Get style inspo from other people, product recommendations, all of that. But do not compare your hair journey to someone else's hair journey, okay? Again, this is a very personal journey. So your hair is not going to do and behave as someone else's is. There is only one you, and that includes your head of hair, okay? Nobody's hair is your hair. It's only one. So just be kind to it. Be mindful how you even talk about your hair and the things that you say in reference to your hair. Don't say things like, oh, I wish my hair was like that person's, or I can't wait for my hair to do that, or I would wear my hair out more if it did that, or if it had that pattern. Like, don't say those types of comparative statements about your hair, because they, believe it or not, are actually very damaging. And especially, like, you shouldn't say it even if you don't have kids, but especially if you have children, because they're so impressionable and they are going to internalize that messaging, and then next thing you know, you're going to give them a complex. So just be kind in how you speak about your hair. And I guarantee you that kind relationship that you have with your hair is going to spill over into everything from how you care for your hair, the types of products you put into your hair, how you style your hair, the freedom that you have in experimenting with different styles. Once you speak kindly to your hair, you, I feel, are like subconsciously taking off all the chains, all the limitations, all the preconceived notions, and you are just allowing your individual hair to explore limitless possibilities of what it can do. But if you are constantly comparing your hair to, you've already put like these restraints on it. You know, if you're comparing it to someone else's texture, someone else's curl pattern, someone else's length. So speak kindly to your hair about your hair. And lastly, the same way that you watch what you say about your hair, do not let other people talk crazy about your hair either. And that goes for friends, families, co-workers. Do not allow people to feel comfortable coming out of their neck sideways when it comes to your hair or your appearance at all in general. And some comments may not be made with the intent to harm, but they can still be ignorant and still cause harm. So in those instances, I find that a gentle, like, please don't say that about my hair, can just nip that in the bud. You know the people around you, you know how you'll want to respond in that moment, but just like a simple, gentle statement, but that's also very direct. And then if you want to educate further on why they shouldn't say that or why you don't appreciate that, that's totally up to you. But I think that checking that behavior in the moment is very healthy and it sets a tone. And if comments are made in malice, then you can decide how you want to handle that or how you even want to interact with that person. Maybe you limit your interactions with that person. And maybe you check it once and then you don't have any problems with it and you guys can move forward. But if it keeps happening, then I would definitely establish some very clear and strong boundaries. We might be grown, but we are not above internalizing messaging. And this is a very beautiful journey. Your texture, your density, your length, your pattern, all of your hair, every single part of your hair is beautiful. Every single stage of your hair journey is beautiful. And so you need to know that and act like you know that. And if you don't know it, because sometimes we have to unlearn things, then fake it till you make it, okay? Just fake it till you make it. You won't always love your hair. Like you might be having a bad hair day, but still know that the core, the root of your hair and all that it can do is beautiful. So always be kind to it. Don't tolerate anybody else's unkindness to it. So this was a little short and sweet video. I just wanted to share some of these little nuggets or gems or whatever you call them because I think that they can be very helpful if you're newly natural. I'm also open to questions. I'm happy to answer what I can answer. I'm not a licensed cosmetologist, honey, but what I do know I will share. And I also am related to several licensed cosmetologists, so what I don't know I can maybe even ask them. But I wish you well, whether you're going natural, whether you're thinking about it, whether you in the process of transitioning, honey, whatever you're doing, I wish you well and thank you so much. Please subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys on the next video.